Hey everybody, it's George Carroll. I'm here in Seattle, Washington with an amazing group of people, and they have an important message for you. Adaptability to change! I'm curious. What are your emotional associations to the word change? So just make the noise of what change kind of activates energetically and emotionally in you. Just make the noise. Go ahead. So a wide variety of responses. But really, when you spread it out, the process of change is an interesting thing because it doesn't happen like a light switch. It actually happens more like this. So there are 3 stages in the process of change and transition. Is more of a sun-rising process than it is a light switch. And that's good to know because if things changed instantly, we would freak out. This is the actual change process, and this is the feared change process. So how many of you know people that their sole purpose on planet Earth is to be right and they're never wrong? Anybody know anybody like this? Anybody sitting next to one? And we all know that if we have all the right answers, is there any room for any new information to kick in? There's not.
George was able to come in, get everyone pumped up, get everyone motivated, and really be able to focus on exactly what we're here for, which is making the best experience for our guests as possible.
So let's talk about 5 keys to working together in transition. And the first one is you got to get clear on the outcome and you got to stay curious. When you go to a brand new city, and you know there's somewhere that you need to go to, but you've never maneuvered through the terrain. And so you get a GPS or you use maps or Google Maps or whatever works for you. What's the first thing that you got to do in order to begin? Get the address and then you plug it in, right? And then Garmin or Google Maps or Siri or whoever tells you take a right here, take a left there. So as it relates to change, if you know your outcome, if you're clear on the vision of where you're going, it's a lot easier to maneuver through the terrain, isn't it? There are 2 gentlemen that actually tried to break the sound barrier before Chuck Yeager. Here's what happened. Each men individually go up into the air and they start reaching those Mach speeds. And as they reach those Mach speeds, their plane starts hitting this resistance because they're just about to break the sound barrier. So they hit this resistance and those guys don't know what to do and it's dangerous. So both men pull back, planes explode. They can't handle the shift. And so both men die. Chuck Yeager goes in the air knowing this. He says, well, I'm risking my life and I have an idea of what might happen. So Chuck Yeager gets up in the air and he's reaching those same Mach speeds as those other gentlemen did, and he starts hitting those same resistance points and starts shaking and shaking. And in that moment, he had a choice, didn't he? He can either pull back and risk death as the other men did, or he could push forward into the unknown and see what happens. So as the story goes, Chuck Yeager pushes forward, and all he hears is this loud sonic boom, and then complete silence, because he had broken the sound barrier. See, this is what a lot of people do when they start hitting their edges, when they start hitting their comfort zone. Because we all have a zone of comfort that we live in. But the minute we start hitting those edges, just like the other men did, we shake, we rattle, we roll, we get resistance, and then boom, all of a sudden we come back to what's comfortable because it's familiar, because we can control it.
I just really felt like I had the opportunity to get some tools that I could actually put to use. And I think when I come away from any seminar with even just one nugget, and George gave us more than one, that I can apply to my work on a very regular basis. So I'm excited about it. If you're considering hiring George, do it.